Twitch recently updated their TOS for body painters, which is amazing. However, I'm a little bit confused. Hi, my name is Leah, or Leah. I am a body painter here on the internet, and my mission is to teach you why body painting is an art form. You may or may not know, but if you are in the Twitch world, you will know that body painters get a lot of shit for what they do. They get a lot of shit because a lot of people don't seem to think that we belong on the internet. They seem to think that we are prawn, we are sexual, we are doing it for the views, we are titty streamers. We're not. We're just creating art. If you've been in any of my streams, you will know for a fact that you barely get to see, like here down. As much as I do head to hip body paints, you will not see much of this section. And I do that for a reason, because that way you have no reason to sexualize me. But that's not really the topic we're talking about today. It's just a point I need you to be aware of, in a way, I suppose. The comments that body painters get are extremely sexualized and extremely disrespectful, to say that that's not what we're asking for. One of the most common topics and one of the probably most asked questions or most stated statements is, are we allowed on Twitch? You are not allowed on here. Twitch is for gaming only. I have some news for you. We are allowed on Twitch. We got invited. The first body painter that was invited on Twitch was KAYPIKEFASHION. If you don't know her, I'll leave all of her social media links down below, including her Twitch link, so you can go watch her live when she's next streaming. Not only this, but we also have our own category. We have our own TOS, which has changed a few times. I will be honest about that. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to go over the new TOS that from this date was released 2 days ago. When you're watching this video, I don't know when it was released. I will let you know somewhere. So yeah, let's have a read. We're going to read through it and then we're going to break it down. I will say that all of this is my own opinions on what I think could be improved and why I think some things aren't fair. Yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about it. The TOS for us is under TOS, which stands for Terms of Service. It is in community guidelines, and then it is under sexual content. I don't think it should be under sexual content, purely because it's not sexual content, but a lot of people seem to think it is, so I get it and I understand. It's also under nudity and attire. I said that so wrong. Nudity and attire. And then we have our own little section here where it says body art, which is cool. I'm going to read it out to you, and then what we're going to do after is talk about it. Yeah. Body painting is permitted in streams focused on or actively creating content. Full chest coverage is not required, but those who present as women must cover their nipples and areola with a layer of non-transparent clothing or a paint and latex combination. Artist grade pasties, tape, similar alternatives are acceptable. This coverage must be applied before streaming begins, not on stream. Buttocks and genitals must also be fully covered with opaque attire. Okay, so the first bit we're going to talk, the first sentence we're going to talk about is body painting is permitted in streams focused on or actively creating content, i.e. painting. So body painting is obviously just pure painting. We all know this. This is a big statement because what it is basically saying is, yes, we are allowed here. We are allowed to be on this platform creating what we do. And it's also saying actively creating this content and streams focused, which means that this body painting stream is purely focused on body painting. So this sentence actually means a lot, because what it is saying to everyone is, we're allowed here. Finally. I don't actually think the original Terms of Service said this. If it did, I'll correct myself. I'm not sure though. So the next sentence is a long one. Full chest coverage is not required. You know what, let's talk about this bit first, because this bit I don't get. Because in the original Terms of Service, and I remember this strictly before they deleted it, I believe, and then they added something else for it, was that they said that your full chest had to be covered with pasties, latex, whatever you want to prep, you know, like the areola nipple area, and then a bandeau type amount of paint had to be on. So bandeau type of paint, let me show you, let me just move my hair out of the way. So the way I prep for painting is I will have pasties and latex over the top to make like a skin tight bra, and then I have from at least armpit level to hip rib level completely covered in paint, whether it's fully detailed, whether it's just base colours. I make sure that is fully painted, fully opaque, so when I go on, it looks like I have some kind of top or coverage. So what it is saying now is that we don't have to do that. What it's actually saying is that you only have to have your nipples and areola covered, because what the sentence says is full chest coverage is not required, but those who present as women must completely cover their nipple and areola area. Doesn't say area, I'm just adding that bit in. This bit I don't understand, because what it is saying is now is that we only have to have nipples and areola covered with either clothing or a paint and latex combination. So technically what this is saying is we only need like this much covered. That's not a lot of paint to go on. Like, you've still got boob area, you've still got the fact that it's chest. Like, the reason we do pasties and latex and all that is to hide the nipples so it doesn't look as much like a boob, it looks more like you're wearing a top. So the best way for me to put it, let me just turn to the side, is when you see me from the side, it just looks like I have a top on, because I do. So the reason we have pasties on is to create that illusion without the clothing. We do this with pasties and paint. So now it's basically telling us that we hardly need any paint on, we just need to have this said area covered. And I don't agree with that, because that's opening up a whole new bunch of shit we get from viewers, which we can guarantee, of them saying that you're doing it for the views. And then it also says those who present as women. This bit, see, I find this bit a little bit unfair, because why just women or people who identify as or present themselves as? If you are body painting and you have nipples, you should have them covered up regardless of gender or what gender you identify as. Everyone should have them covered. If you are Twitch, actually, you know what, I'm aiming this at Twitch. If you are wanting to present body painting as a non-sexual form, both male and female identifying presenting should have nipples covered. The reason I say this is because what you are doing is subjectifying that women are, that it is more sexual for a woman than it is a man, and that's not fair. I think if you are body painting, male or female identifying or present, you should have nipples covered regardless. I don't think it's fair for it to just be women. So I have a bit of an issue with this. I mean, I do it anyway, so it doesn't change anything that I do. I just don't think it should be subjected to. That's not fair. If you know of the incident with FORKGirl, which it was all over Twitter, she basically got banned indefinitely. She has her account back, which, congratulations FORKGirl, I'm so proud. She got an email from Twitch saying the reason she got banned was because she didn't have her full chest covered. So this just contradicts the new terms of service for the reason she got banned anyway. I don't find that fair, because now you've technically banned someone for something that you are now allowing. So I don't understand why now it's not required when before you've said it is required. Hey guys, Editing Leah here. So I just wanted to update you on where I am with this video. At the point that you are watching now, since the release of the new TOS, 2 people have been banned. I reached out to both of them. One of them got indefinitely banned and one of them got suspended for a day. The person who got suspended for a day got back to me and said that I can use her tweets and her emails and her name. So if you don't know MIZZYROSE, she's a really big body painter on Twitch. She blew up in the space of a few weeks when she started body painting, and to be honest, she's actually really talented. So I'll post some photos of how she streams. And basically in her email for her day ban, she got told that she wasn't covered enough, even though the new TOS states that you only have to have your nipple and areola area covered. So if you remember what I was saying to do with FORKGirl, they've just gone against what they said in their TOS again, even only after a few days. And by the time you are seeing this, Mizzy's suspension was only, I believe, 2 days after the new TOS had been released. Obviously it's been about a week since then now, at the point of me filming this. So yeah, luckily Mizzy has got her channel back. The other person's channel is indefinitely banned, so she won't be getting it back unless the appeal wins, which I hope it does. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to update you on with this whole situation. Okay, back to other Leah. I don't think they've really thought it through, if I'm honest. I think we should have full chest coverage, which is what I was saying before, like top, like from armpit level to at least but under boob, top of the rib cage. I think that would be a suitable amount, because at least that way it looks like you have a bandeau on, something like that. I just think it's safer. I think it's less sexualized. Even when you go to like art shows and stuff and you see people with body paint on in shows, they have most of this painted on because it makes people feel more comfortable. And I just don't think it's, I think it's just a little bit hypocritical and it's extremely vague. But let's move on anyway. So then it just talks about a layer of transparent clothing or a paint and latex combination. I do the paint and latex combination most of the time because, like I say, I do like head to hip body paint. So this bit does have the latex skin type bra on. And then it talks about artist grade pasties, tape or similar alternatives are acceptable. So alternatives to that is obviously an actual bandeau or what are they called? There is a certain type of painting pasty. I will put the name here and the link in the description to what it is. I can't remember what it is, but they're acceptable as well. They're just like a bigger pasty. But they're a bit expensive, which is the reason a lot of people will do the paint and latex combination. The coverage must be applied before streaming begins and not on stream. This, I mean, is a given. You shouldn't be doing that on stream anyway, because for one, it takes forever, and two, people will be able to see nipples, and that's obviously against TOS anyway. So this bit I do agree with. Technically now with the new TOS, there's not actually that much prep anymore. It's very limited. And then it says buttocks and genitals must also be covered by an opaque attire. So what that is saying is that your bum and your peen and your vagine should all be covered up with pants. You can actually get painted latex pants, so they look like skin, they match your skin colour roughly. So the reason I have a little bit of an issue with this TOS, like I've kind of broke down anyway, is that it's subjected to one gender or identifying gender, presenting gender, which I don't think is very fair, because like I was saying, if you're not wanting to sexualise something like this, it needs to be for everyone. Identifying, presenting or not, everyone needs to be included in this. Every single person needs to be included in this coverage of nipples and areola area, because it's just not fair to say you identify as a woman, you are a woman, you need to cover them up because it's sexual. It's a little bit vague, because what it's saying is you need to cover the nipple and areola area, which is a very small area. It's like 2 inches worth of skin. Like, that's not a lot to, so just imagine, like, where are my pasties? I'm just going to get my pasties out for you and show you kind of how it would look on stream. So these are the pasties, these are the fabric ones I have, these are before obviously the prep. So these would technically be about there. So what you're telling me is that I can sit on stream with just this and a bit of paint over this area, then this is acceptable. I don't think it is acceptable. I don't think it's safe for anyone. I don't think anyone should go on stream with that and that be it. I think you should have way more coverage. You should have a bandeau amount of paint on, a bandeau or a boob tube amount of paint on, which is again armpit level to rib cage, under boob level. I don't think it's the best terms of service. However, it tells everyone that we are allowed on the platform, and it tells you specifically that buttocks and genitals must also be fully covered with opaque attire. So the next time you come in and you say to me, can I paint my balls since you can paint your boobs? No, because they need to be covered with fully opaque attire. Why is that a thing? Why do people come in and say, can I paint my balls if you're painting your boobs? I didn't realise that balls and boobs were the exact same thing. I'm in two mindsets. I'm going to be honest, the first time I read this I was like, oh my god, it's really good, like they've put in a section for body art, they've officially established the rules. And then I reread it and read it again and was like, wait, why is this only for people who identify and present themselves as women, and why is the coverage so small? It makes no sense. My mind. I 100% understand where Twitch is going with this terms of service, I get it. So what they're basically trying to say is whether you have the most amount of coverage on or you have barely any coverage, which is within their TOS, body art is not sexual. So I really do genuinely appreciate, actually, you know what, round of applause for that. I appreciate that. The only thing with this is not to do with Twitch, it's more to do with the people who don't understand this, who are on Twitch. So my thought process is that if you have a bando amount of paint on, like I showed you, that way you're probably going to get less sexualized comments in your chat than you are if you just turned up with the nipples and areola with that amount of paint on, because you are exposing more of yourself. And I'm not saying that because you're exposing more of yourself you are becoming a sexual item. What I'm saying is you are more likely to be sexualized. Coming from me, a body painter who has been doing this for 2 years, who's actually been suspended for this kind of thing even though I was fully covered, and luckily a friend of mine at the time was a moderator, he looked into the situation and I just got botted, basically. A bot got me. I just think that the more coverage the better, to save you from being sexualized and made into an item from the people who haven't read the TOS, who clearly don't care for the TOS, and all they want to do is just see boobs. Because the first thing that they will do is make you feel like shit and like an item and like you are a sexual object, and that's not fair. So I would just go in with the most coverage that you feel comfortable with. I'm still going to be doing that. And I'm not saying to anyone who does do just the nipples and areola of the paint that you are sexualizing body paint. I would never ever dream of saying that, nor do I think that is the case. I really don't. I just think for the safety of yourself, your mental well-being, you would be much better off doing more paint than less, because there's a lot of thirsty e-boys on the internet that just want to see you jump and show bobs. Because that way as well you save time, you don't have to be on stream for as long. Body painting can take 8+ hours, 13 for some of us. It just gives you less to do on stream and more attention towards your chat and your community, who obviously care for you and for your artwork. I would just do the most. I will just say this again, this is all my opinions. I'm just doing the best advice that I can to give you the safest, most enjoyable experience you can on Twitch, because it's an amazing place. All the body painters are just so nice and encouraging. They're lovely people. I just think that we all need to be a little bit more smarter for ourselves, because like I say, there's a lot of thirsty people, there's a lot of nasty people that will just try and throw you under the bus just because you're body painting, and it sucks. They have made the rules really clear. No, your arse and your peen and your balls are not allowed to be shown on the internet unless they're covered with opaque attire. Yes, me as a body painter is allowed on Twitch, and no, I'm not just doing it for the views. No, body painting is not sexual. Yes, it is an art form. That is today's video, I think. I thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will, in fact, answer as many as I can. If you'd also like to join my Discord, you can. That will be linked in the description down below. Also follow me on all social media, and if you want to, you can join me in my Twitch streams. We can actually talk about this subject if you're wanting to. I really don't mind expressing more opinions, and you get to talk to me live in person, not just through a comment. So if you would like to do that, make sure you do. It's all around it somewhere. And if you want to see more videos, make sure that you subscribe. I don't know where the button is. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.